Hello everyone and welcome back to RysFix. And guys, in this video I am going to solve a very big problem of yours. Now as you guys can see, this is my car tire. Very recently I had replaced the valve of this tire. Not even 5 days have passed and already the air has started to escape from the tire. The air goes slowly. Only my this tire the air reduces very quickly. In the rest of the tires it doesn't happen this way. Only this one tire is giving me problem at the moment. I have already replaced the valve of this tire 3 times guys. Only few days it works and then the air starts to reduce. Now I am not the only one who is facing this problem guys. I have seen many people who face this problem. How many of you guys have faced this problem? Do let me know in the comment section below. So if you guys are facing this problem, then what you should be doing, that I will show you in this video, and what mess the tire repair shop does, that also I will tell you in this video. So it is going to be a very interesting video. So like the video now only, and if you are coming on this channel for the first time, see that you subscribe and keep that bell icon pressed so that you will not miss any of my future videos. And remember to press that hype button. So without any further ado, let's get the video started. So the first thing that I will do here is I will take out my tire, because this problem can happen because of 2 reasons guys. First one is my rim is rusted near the valve area, and the second problem can be the tire repair shop have put a very low quality valve on my tire rim. So let's see what is the problem guys. So here I have loosened all my tire nuts first, then I have lifted the car and put it on the jack stand, because it will at least take me 1 day to fix this problem guys. Why, that I will show you further in this video, so keep watching. Now once I put the car on the jack stand, now I will take out the tire completely from the car. The socket that I am using here is a 21mm socket. By using this socket I have taken out all these nuts. Once you take out all the nuts, your tire is sometimes jammed like this. So the easiest thing by which you can take this tire out is, you will have to take a rod like this and bang on the tire right here. Once you do that, your tire rim will be separated from the car and now you can take it out completely. So let's see what is the problem now. Now because the air was leaking through the tire valve always, I have put grease near the valve. Still the air is leaking. Now I have applied this grease only on the outside area so that the air will get blocked. If you watch carefully, then you will notice that there is grease all around the valve. So wherever I have applied the grease, that grease I will wipe off first with the help of a cloth. I had applied this grease because I was fed up of this problem guys. Every time I replace the valve, the same problem used to continue. My tire is brand new. Even the rim I have painted entirely, but I did not paint the rim by taking the valve out guys. I had painted it with the valve on. So now I will pour some soap water on the valve and I will show you guys how the air bubbles are coming. As you guys can see, this valve has again malfunctioned, but this time guys I will be replacing the valve. How to replace it at home, that also I will show you in this video, so don't worry. Everything I am going to show you step by step guys, so keep watching the video. First you will have to take the tire out and take it to a tire repair shop and separate the tire from the rim and get it back. Now to take the tire out from the rim, he did not charge me anything, but I will come back here to put the tire back. At the moment you will have to take your tire and your rim at home first. So here I have come back home, and as you guys can see, this is my valve. Now the tire repair shop guys, when they take the old valve out, they make use of a cutter, and when they cut this valve, they take a blade and they cut off the valve like this, and while they do that, they scratch the paint. And then they do sanding here and take out the rest of the paint as well. Now you should not be doing that guys. You will have to cut the valve from the middle like this. Once you cut it from the middle, this much rubber will come out. Now I don't even know what cheap valve is this. Nothing is written on it. They will try to put the cheapest valve on your rim guys to maximize their profit, which don't even work for few days. Now you will have to pull the valve from this side and your valve will be separated from the rim very easily like this. So this is my old valve. Take this out and throw it somewhere, because I'm going to show you now what exactly to do next. The first thing that I will do is I will wipe off all the grease that I had applied here. Maybe you did not apply grease here, which is completely fine. But once you wipe this, as you guys can see, all the grease that was there on the rim, I have taken it out completely. Still the surface is greasy and the surface looks slightly up and down here. If your surface is up and down, or if there is any rust on the surface, that you will have to check now here, and you should be checking on the inner side as well. And the hole guys, inside of the hole and all around the hole also you will have to check. You should be checking for rust here. So the entire rim I will wash with a dishwash soap. I will do a thorough cleaning here, because I don't want any dust, grease, grime on the surface. So once I'm done washing my rim thoroughly, I will allow it to dry for some time, because I want a completely dry and clean rim, especially that area where my valve will be sitting. If it is taking too much time to dry, then you can even use a cloth and wipe the excess water. Then before doing anything else, I will make use of a thinner and I will wipe the valve area, and all the grease which was there I will try to take it out completely, because I had applied lots of grease here. Now I don't want it there. So make use of a thinner and wipe the grease out. Now the surface is clean. I will show you closely. As you guys can see, if you look on this side, then you will notice that there is lots of rust on the surface, especially all around the valve. Like this, when there is rust all around the hole, it creates the problem, guys. So rust is here, and if you look on the other side, then on this side there is no rust at all. The tire repair shop guy sanded this surface so many times and he has taken out all the paint from here. As you guys can see, why they work like this I don't know, guys. Once you take the paint out by sanding, then your metal is totally exposed, and the air which we feel in our tires, it has moisture in it. Because of that moisture, very quickly it starts to rust here. So this you should not leave like this, guys. So now we will treat this. So first I will take a sandpaper, and wherever there is rust, in all those spots I will start to sand now. I will take the rust out, I will make the surface nice and flat. Now to put the sandpaper here, it becomes slightly difficult, as you guys can see. So take a screwdriver like this, and all the rust which has formed here, see that you scrape it out completely. Not even a single spot of rust should be left behind. We should be cleaning this surface thoroughly now. Now guys, to put sandpaper near this hole from this side is slightly difficult, and sometimes it is difficult to take the rust out with the sandpaper as well. And that is the reason why these tire repair shops, they slightly sand the rim, but you should not be doing like that. You should take a screwdriver and scrape the rust out completely, guys, as much as you can. Once you are successful taking out all the rust with a screwdriver, then you can make use of a sandpaper and sand the surface lightly on top. And see that you don't use a fatter grit sandpaper like the 80 grit sandpaper, because that will create more grooves in the surface which will allow the air to escape. Minimum you will have to use a 220 grit sandpaper to do the sanding, or more than that. How I am holding the sandpaper and I am sanding, you guys can see that here. Otherwise it is very difficult for the sandpaper to reach this spot. Then you will have to roll the sandpaper like this, and you will have to sand inside of the hole thoroughly now. You should not leave any of the spot, guys. Once you do what I am telling you, your problem will be solved for lifetime. That is the reason why do what I am telling you in this video, and then you can tell me, guys. The entire rust you should take out completely, otherwise you will face this problem every now and then. Again I will make use of a screwdriver, and I will take out some of the rust which is there on the surface which did not go, and I will clean the surface well. If you look on the back side, then there is not too much rust on this side, so the problem was not from this side, guys. But still I will sand a little bit on this side. But the job is not done with this, guys. There's one more thing that you should be doing here. What is that I will show you further in this video, so keep watching. Now again you will have to make use of a thinner and wipe the surface where you have sanded, because so that all the dust that has been created through sanding, we should now take it out completely and leave the surface nice and clean and dry. All the dust which has gone inside this hole, make use of a screwdriver, wrap the cloth around it and put the screwdriver inside of this hole and wipe it completely and thoroughly, so that the dust will not remain inside of this hole. As you guys can see, once you do all these things, your surface will look something like this. Then you will have to get a masking tape, and you will have to take a small piece of it, and you will have to apply it near the hole on the back side like this. Once you are done applying the masking tape, the next thing that you will have to do is you will have to get a 3M high heat coating like this. Now why I am applying this coating? To apply this coating, you don't have to apply primer separately, and you don't have to apply paint separately. Everything comes inside of this coating. This is a very strong coating and it holds for a long time. I use this on my silencer and it stays for a long time. And if this coating stays well on a silencer, then it will also stay on the rim well. And to apply this, you don't need a spray gun, you don't need a primer. Just shake the can and spray it on the area. You should be spraying very less amount first. Don't spray too much and create paint runs. You should avoid paint runs here, guys. Spray 2-3 times and allow it to dry for some time. You will have to do this 2-3 times. Once you apply 3 coats, that is enough. So wherever you have done the sanding, in all those spots, you should be applying this coating. Now why I have applied a masking tape on the back side? I have applied the tape that side because sometimes we tend to spray too much on this side and that paint goes on the other side and create drips. So because I don't want this paint to come out from the other side, I have applied a masking tape there. Because wherever the valve sits, we want a totally flat surface there, and we don't want even slight up and down there. Now as you guys can see, I'm done applying paint on this side. I've applied 3 coats here. While applying 1 coat, the camera was off, so I could not capture it. So once you are done applying 3 coats, let it dry for some time. Then come on the other side and take out this masking tape that you have applied. Once I take out this masking tape, now I will spray the coating on this side. So here I have applied 1 coat. I will give some time for this coat to dry. Once the coat is dry, it will look something like this. Now I am applying a second coat on it. Once I apply the second coat, again I will allow it to dry for some time. And now I am applying the third coat on this. Once I am done applying 3 coats, I am done with my paint job and my rim treatment is done. Now I will allow it to dry for 1 full day, because it looks dry but it is not dry, guys. It is wet from inside. It needs 1 full day to dry completely. It should become dry and hard. So tomorrow I will put the valve on the rim, and that too at home. So here I have ordered some valves online. These are quality valves. I will try to put a link of them in the description below. You can go there and check it out by yourself. In 283 rupees I got 10 valves, and that too quality valves. But the valves that the tire repair shop puts on your rim, those are the cheapest valves, guys, and the worst valves ever. That is the reason why whenever I want to change the valve, I will do it at home only, because every time your valve is damaged, it is benefit for them, and they want your valve to get spoiled every now and then, guys. They will show you as if there is absolutely no solution for this problem, but you can solve this problem by yourself easily at home like this. Now how to put this valve on the rim, that also I will show you now in this video, so keep watching. So let's take this valve out and let's check it out. As you guys can see, the valve looks something like this. This is Triton company valve. So this valve now I will put on my rim. I have heard that Omni company valves also come. Maybe those are also good quality ones. I'm not sure about that. Now to put this valve on the rim, you will need a tool like this. Now this tool will have a thread on it on this side, and that thread will fit on your valve. But to use this tool also there is a technique, guys. If you don't know how to use this tool properly, then you can ruin your valve as well. How to use this properly, that also I will show you now. If you take the cap out from the valve, then as you guys can see how this valve get thread in inside of this tool. So you will have to make an investment on a tool like this. I will put a link of this tool also in the description below. So now come on, let's put this valve on the rim. Here I have set 2 cameras so that you guys can see properly how to put this valve on the rim. It is a very easy process, guys, but you will have to follow some things. So this is my valve. First I will pour some soapy water on the valve like this and make it wet. Then I will pass the valve through the rim like this. Then I will thread in this tool on the valve like this. And once you thread in, you will need a wooden stick. If you have a metal rod, then you can use that as well, because you need something to take support here, guys. So put the metal rod or a wooden block like this on the rim, and now you will have to bend this tool on this side like this. As you bend the tool, your valve will automatically go in place. First see if it is gone inside properly and check if you have pulled it properly. If you have not pulled it properly, then pull it a little bit more like this. With this, my valve is now come in position. Now the soapy water that I have put on this valve, it will dry up in few minutes. I will not put oil or grease on this, because then the valve becomes slippery and that valve can rotate then very easily and it can create an air passage there. But what you think about this, do let me know in the comment section below. If you don't use a wooden piece or a metal rod to pull the valve, and if you directly go to pull the valve, then what can go wrong, that I will show you now. As you guys can see, I've already put the valve inside and now I'm putting the tool on the valve. So here I have put the tool on the valve. Now when I try to lift the valve, first thing that will happen is the valve will not go inside only, because from here the tool doesn't get the proper leverage, guys. If you apply too much force, then your valve will break from inside. So here my valve is broken from inside now. I will take it out and I will show you guys how it is broken. As you guys can see how the valve is broken from inside. That is the reason why a wooden piece or a metal rod is very important while pulling the valve. So here my valve is now come in position, as you guys can see. Now I will test this valve if air is coming out from here. Now I will not test this valve like this only. I will put the tire on the car and then I will test it. Because when you go on a tire repair shop, they test the valve before they put the tire on the car. by putting soapy water on it. When they are testing, there is absolutely no pressure on the tire, but the moment you put the tire on the car and when entire weight comes on it, at that time the tire is under pressure, and that is the time the air starts to come out. So I will put the tire on the car and then I will test it. So when the valve goes inside properly, from the back side it will look something like this. So now let's go near the tire repair shop and let's fit the tire on the rim and let's get it back. This is a Triton company valve and you even get a warranty on this valve, guys. So here I am come back near the tire repair shop. Now this is my front tire. I want to do wheel balancing also of this, but this guy doesn't have a wheel balancing machine here. So I will have to take the tire somewhere else to do the balancing. So here I have only fit the tire on the rim and I have filled air in it. Then I went on the balancing shop and I balanced the tire and I brought. So here I am back home. Before I put the tire on the car, I will put some soapy water and I will check here if there is any leakage. So this is my soapy water. So I will pour the soapy water on the valve, and as you guys can see, I cannot see any leakage here, which is a very good thing. Now I will put the tire back on the car. I will not put the wheel cap first. Let's put this tire on the car first and let the weight of the car come on this tire, and then let's see if there is any leakage in the valve. So here I have put the tire back on the car. Now I will take the car off the jack stand. So here I have taken off the car from the jack stand and now the entire weight is come on the tire. Now I will put the soapy water and I will check if there is any leakage in the valve now. Once I put the soapy water on the valve, as you guys can see, there is absolutely no leakage in the valve. Now I will take all the nuts out and I will put the wheel cap. While putting the wheel cap, one thing that you will have to note here is the curved part which is there on the wheel cap. This part should come near the valve area so that you can put air inside of the valve properly. So here I have put the wheel cap back. Now I will put all the nuts back and tighten them thoroughly. And with this, my job is done. And I'm hoping that you guys have found this video useful. If you have to replace your car valve again and again, now you know what exactly you should be doing. If you found this video useful, then see that you like the video. And if you are coming on this channel for the first time, see that you subscribe and keep that bell icon pressed so that you will not miss any of my future videos. And remember guys to press that hype button. So that's all in this video guys, and I will see you guys in my next video now. Till then, bye and take care.